Hey, Pet Service Pros, this is your host, Anthony Flores. Before we get to the show, I would like to personally extend an invitation for you to join us at Pierre.fm. Pierre is a pet service marketplace that helps pet service stores accept bookings through our website and super simple to use mobile app. Just think, guys, Expedia for pet services. It's free to join. There are no setup fees, no minimums. You only pay when you get orders, and you can cancel our service anytime. Guys, consumer behavior is changing and consumers expect a simple and transparent way to book your services. Whether you're an established pet service store and looking to stay ahead of the game or new to the pet service industry, Pierre can help you to grow your business. To learn more, visit us at Pierre.fm today. Pierre.fm. Now let's get to the show. Model, actor, travel blogger, influencer, and oh yeah, a viral photo with Taylor Swift. Hey listeners, we're back and I'm Anthony Flores, and today we're going to do episode 3 of the Pet Influencer Economy series with arguably one of the most famous dogs in the world, Tinkerbelle the Dog and her mom, Sam Carell. We will learn how Sam has helped build Tinkerbell's following and the commitment level, which is not easy, you guys, that is required to operate at her level. This is going to be a really inspiring one, so we hope you enjoy the show.
From the Pierre headquarters in Los Angeles, Pierre presents The Shift, a pet services podcast. A show where pet service pros learn the latest trends in design, marketing, technology, and the stories from other pet industry entrepreneurs and the businesses they built.
The Shift. Hello, listeners. We're back. And guess who we have here today? We have a very special guest. We've got Sam Carell, the mother of none other than Tinkerbelle the Dog. How are you?
Hi, we are great. Thank you for having us.
It's such an honor to finally meet you guys in person. Tinkerbelle is the cutest ever.
She's very excited.
While I'm calling her, I mentioned her name and she's actually walking over to me. She's so freaking cute. Tell me about her outfit.
This dress that she has on is black and white check, and it's designed for her by Wagwear. It's a couture dress that they make for her. Most of Tinkerbell's clothing is sent to her and is either designed just specifically for her or just sent to her so that she wears it. And this dress is one of the many couture dresses that Wagwear has made for Tinkerbelle.
Oh, cool.
To wear on red carpet appearances, fashion week, or interviews or anything. And they've made her also a black leather jacket and just recently a hot pink suede jacket. So she is always in style and in fashion and feeling her best.
Amazing. And she had, when you came in, she actually had an Adidas track jacket on, actually.
Yes.
And she pulled the Houdini move and got out of it somehow.
Yeah, she has model problems, so she's very, very long and thin, so things slide off of her easily. But this is her little Adidas track jacket that Adidas sent to her to wear. It's not actually a puppy attire. It's children's.
Oh, no way.
But yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
3M.
Yep.
I guess that would be 3M. What is that for top?
Newborns, I would think, or preemies.
That tells you how much I know about kids.
Yeah.
I don't have kids yet.
I have Tinkerbelle, my first and only dog, and every day is a new experience for me with her.
How was it coming in? Oh, by the way, you guys, we're in New York City. We're not in LA right now, so it's a whole different world out here.
Welcome to New York.
That's right. So did you took the subway?
Yeah, took the subway down. Easy, fast, no problem. Of course, Tinkerbelle gets greeted on the subway by many people. Some people recognize her and some people are just like, oh, she's so cute. Can I touch her? So she, no matter where she goes, she causes a little stir.
She gets all kinds of love, I think, everywhere. Does it kind of trip you out how many people actually know who she is?
Yes. And when I'm not expecting it is when it happens, like at 4 a.m. in an airport, or when I'm running into a Starbucks in between her shoots or appearances or interviews, and it's Tinkerbelle, that's Tinkerbelle. And it's just amazing not just how many people follow her throughout the world, but the most amazing thing is that the happiness she brings to people on a daily basis. Every day, I can't tell you how many people comment and say, "You made my bad day good." Wow. Yeah, so that to me is the most rewarding, that she makes people happy and makes them smile even if they're having a really bad day.
Tinkerbelle, how do you do that? How
I think
cutie.
she knows it, right, Tink?
So for the people that don't know Tinkerbelle, tell our audience a little bit about Tinkerbelle and what makes her unique.
Well, first of all, Tinkerbelle is my first animal ever. And I adopted her at a shelter, which I was not planning on doing. I was just visiting some friends and heard about this little pup that had been there for 2 weeks that was left by another previous owner, and she wouldn't eat, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, oh, let me go see her. No intentions of anything.
Sure.
Just curiosity.
Yep.
And I opened her little cage, and she picked her head up and ran out and jumped in my arms and started giving me kisses.
Whoa.
So right away, I looked at them and I said, what is wrong with you people? She's very social. I don't understand. And they were all speechless because 2 weeks, this had not happened with anyone.
Wow.
So their first word was, you have to take her home.
Whoa.
And my first word was, absolutely not.
You're like, holy shit. What is your, I guess, before, what was life for you like before Tink?
Normal. I have a dance studio and just with classes there, with surrounded by children every day, working there and running around doing what I need to do. I had no intentions or thinking I had time even for an animal. Plus, I have a lot of allergies, seasonal food, everything. So I'm allergic to most animals because they shed. And that was my one concern. After they were like, well, you have to. I said, no, I can't. Don't worry. I'm allergic. I can't have her. You have to find her a better home.
Yeah.
So lo and behold, Tinkerbelle and I came home, right? We went home and we stopped everywhere along the way. And I got her enough food and supplies for a German Shepherd.
Wow. Yeah. First time mama, huh?
Yeah. And I just didn't know what to do. So I figured, let me get everything because I don't know what's wrong or right. And then I just would walk her through the city to socialize her. And an animal agent stopped me, said, I want to work with her. I said, no. And then she said, really, I want to work with her. Please. Here's my card.
Wow.
Let's come to the office and talk.
Wow.
So I went to her office and we talked and I said, okay, I'll try. And she has animals that, book commercials, Broadway shows, everything like that. And her first job at a year, because I adopted her when she was 9 months.
Okay.
Her first job was a year and it was a Ralph Lauren campaign.
Whoa.
It's supposed to be a half-hour shoot and it ended up, we were there all day. Because David Lauren, who I didn't realize was David Lauren. I just thought he was David the stylist.
Is David Lauren Ralph's son, right?
Yes.
Is that the designer? Is he also a designer too?
Yes. And he, right away when I got to set was, oh, Tinkerbelle, yay, you're here. Come on. And we went into the back and I thought he was a stylist because he was putting clothes on her.
Yeah.
Not realizing it was David. He introduced himself as David.
Sure.
I didn't connect it until I got home. And he kept changing her outfit, putting her in the next shot, changing her outfit, putting her in the next shot, doing photos, doing video. And I was like, wow, this was supposed to be a half-hour shoot. This is like hours now. And he was fighting with the director because the director kept saying, no dogs in this shot. And he's like, yes, dogs in this shot. And I was like, I am not getting in the middle of this. And I guess he, from the beginning, as soon as he met her, had it in his head that he was picked her to do this campaign face and everything. And lo and behold, full pages, Harper's Bazaar, posters, magazines, billboards, everything all about Tinkerbelle.
Wow. How did you come up with Tinkerbelle's name?
Well, at the shelter, she had this name that I didn't think suited her at all. And obviously she didn't either. And after I agreed to take her home, I said, can I change her name? And they said, absolutely. I said, well, because that name is a little odd. It was Little Sis.
Yeah.
And I said, that doesn't seem like, I get it was an older couple that adopted her. So maybe it was a generational thing. I don't know. But I was like, I don't think she looks like that. What kind of name is that? And then I didn't know what to name her, but she was so tiny when I got her. I was like, she looks like a fairy. So Tinkerbell, I thought. And as soon as I said Tinkerbell, she picked her head and looked at me. And I was like, I think she likes it.
Wow.
But if I knew now what her life would be like, I think I would have named her Cinderella because she's totally the true Cinderella story.
I know Disney is notorious with, their names and their artwork and design, etc. Has that been a challenge as Tinkerbell has continued to grow?
Not really, because her name is spelled differently. She has an E at the end, like a Southern Belle. So it's Tinkerbell with an E at the end.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Her name and image is now registered and trademarked.
Sweet.
Yeah, because we ran into one incident where this large company stole her image to launch a campaign. And after that is when I realized I've got to be a little more proactive, not realizing people are that bad in the world. And I had her name and image taken care of.
Yeah. That's like you trademarked, right?
Yeah, trademarked, yep.
Smart.
And registered, yes. And just hopefully there's no other bad corporate people like that in the world.
That is insane. I mean, you see that, we were talking about the Kardashians. Every now and again, you'll see an ad with someone that looks just like one of them, and they don't play around.
Right, exactly.
They come after them quickly.
It gets, when you realize it's violating and it feels very personal, even though,
right.
I mean, they know what they're doing, obviously, but after that happened, now Tinkerbell does have an attorney who is based in LA, and he's the one who said, "Okay, we need to do XXX for her," and that's what we did. I never realized, things would happen like that.
Yeah, you just never know.
No, I mean, I guess I'm naive, innocent. I don't know, but I don't have a streak in me like that to do that. So I just don't know why people would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Actor, model, travel blogger, influencer. Whoa.
Yes. She's got a large list to her tiny name, tiny body, a big list of things.
Yeah, I noticed also, it's really, I'd be remiss to just call her, an influencer, because she's so much more than that, right?
Yes, and that's not how she started. Social media was not how she started at all. It just started by random with this animal talent agent, and it's just developed into a social media influencer career and a travel blogger she's multi-award winning. She's also, which is really impressive, Emmy Award nominee.
Whoa.
Yeah, she did a pilot, and it was nominated for an Emmy, and it's all about her. So that's, to me, is most amazing, because what dog has an Emmy nominee?
I don't know of any.
Exactly.
I don't know if there is any either.
So to me, she didn't win, but it's okay, because just to have Emmy nominee is amazing.
Wow. So did you kind of, with your own career, were you kind of in a spot where you had to make a decision as to whether you should kind of maybe, reduce your schedule on that side and spend more time on Tinkerbell's career?
Yes, I definitely had to reduce my personal work schedule. I still obviously work, but I did reduce it so I'm not there as many days.
Yeah.
And when Tinkerbell's schedule became more demanding, it was really hard to be like, I need to be here, but I have no one to be here for me. And how do I do this? So I've been a little reduced, but even I'm still, getting people to cover for me at work when I'm running around with Tinkerbell, which it's really a full-time job. And I really am up 24/7 working.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I'll take it anytime, because it's every day is a new amazing adventure.
That's one thing that, there's a lot of things that stood out, but one in particular is that when I reached out to you, you were just on your shit. like immediately got an email back, immediately, we've kind of texting back and forth. You respond quickly. How much of your success would you dedicate to just your business acumen and just that discipline there?
I think that at least 80%. I try to keep on top of everything. So my phone basically is in my hand 24/7. When I'm not running around, I'm with my computer, laptop all the time when I'm not running around, and when we're on a set, obviously in between breaks, I'm on my phone to answer emails, to answer text messages, to answer inquiries, because Tinkerbell's email at least 50 emails a day that I have to reply to, whether it's guaranteed work, I'm booking her, or can she do this, or what are your fees for this, or can she make an appearance, or, so I think being on top of it, I do have a lot of the companies that tell me your business, discipline is amazing.
I noticed that right away, and we didn't even talk about that before, but it stood out to me, and I was thinking, wow, this is something that I think any aspiring, Instagram influencer that is working with pets, that you've got to, it's not enough to post, once a day. There's a lot of pieces, I think, that if you can't keep your word to yourself, you're not going to keep your word to anyone else. So I think having that discipline is huge. This isn't just a hobby for you, is it?
No, this is a job. When I realized what was happening with her career, her third booking in with the talent agent was all 3 print jobs in a row after Ralph Lauren. And the stylist said to me, I want to follow her. What's her social media? And my first reaction was, these people are crazy. This is a dog. What is wrong? And then I left the set and she handed me a paper and said, I started her Instagram. You need to keep up on it.
Oh, no way.
Password, sign in, here it is. And I said, what the heck? But me being okay, let me follow through all the time, I said, okay, I'll just post pictures randomly and, keep up on it to make her happy. Because my whole thing with business is to make sure that we have long-lasting relationships. So I don't know if I was going to meet that stylist again. And I didn't want to walk on a set and have her say, what happened? I gave you the Instagram sign-in. Why didn't you keep up on it? So I just want to make sure everything is done correctly, and I cross the T's and dot the I's, and okay, this is what I'm told to do, I'll do it. I'm a rule follower. And I didn't realize until her Instagram started really taking off. And then I started getting inquiries from her social media and saying, can Tinkerbell do something with this product? Can she do this? Can we partner with this? Can we do this? And I was like, this is a business.
And what year was that?
Oh, gosh, it must be, Tinkerbell is now 7. So it was probably just when she booked her first job at 1. So it was probably about 2 years old, 2.5 years old when she was. And I've just kept up on it. And the adventures and the things that have come from just doing work, business, are unbelievable. And when the first hotel reached out to me and said, we're pet friendly, can you bring Tinkerbell to our hotel and stay here and let everyone know we're pet friendly? I said, is this a thing?
Wow.
And I said, sure. So lo and behold, here we went to our first hotel ever, which was in Boston.
Okay.
And I was like, and the red carpet was rolled out. And I was like, wow, Tinkerbell, they really researched you, liked you. They had her photos everywhere in the lobby. Tinkerbell's coming, Tinkerbell's coming. And then I said, this must be another thing. This pet-friendly travel with your dog hotel thing.
That's right.
And then I got another inquiry. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do this correctly as well and do the best I can at this too, because obviously someone wants Tinkerbell to have a travel blog out there. And I don't mind traveling. I enjoy traveling. So I was like, Tink, I guess we're supposed to do this. Let's do it right. And Lo and behold, Traveling Tink hashtag came about, and we've been traveling all over the world, which is absolutely amazing and exhausting at the same time.
Sure, yeah.
And yes, it's work when I go location to location, but I'm seeing things I probably wouldn't see. I'm going places I probably wouldn't go.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't mind doing the work, taking the photos, doing the videos, and bringing a backpack full of clothing for Tinkerbell to change to all day long.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a blessing, huh?
She's won, her travel blog has won multiple awards right now. So I'm very proud of her for her work.
How much of your discipline would you dedicate to just your background in dance?
Most of it. Because as a dancer, everything is discipline. It's structure, it's discipline, it's being on timely fashion. Everything is, you have to be somewhere, you have to be in a class, you have to be here. You can't be late. So I would say 100% of my discipline is from my background in dance. Absolutely.
And did you start dancing like when you were really young?
Yes. My mom was a professional dancer who opened the dance school.
Oh boy.
So I was kind of dancing around in her belly. And so, yeah, I started right away.
What is it about Tinkerbell that makes her unique?
Well, first of all, the uniqueness is that she's a papatisse, which is half Papillon and half Maltese. Haven't found any on the internet. So that's very unique in itself. She has the Maltese qualities, but she has the ears of the Papillon.
That's right.
And, she's got those long, skinny model legs like a Papillon. So that in itself, her look is what gets people's attention first. Then she also has this amazing discipline where she can do anything on a set. She has no formal training, but yet she can, for instance, we just did a Target commercial. She's called the Stowaway. She had to hide in this little handbag, peek her head out, hide in the handbag, peek her head out. And she has no formal training. It's just me talking to her. And she can do anything that I need her to do. I just talk to her. It's amazing. And she's extremely disciplined. And she'll give it her all everywhere we go. She's like, okay, I'm meeting people. I'm going to work. I'm going to make sure I say hi to everyone. I'm going to do anything you need me to do. And she just is eager, and you can tell she enjoys everything she does. And I think that's part of it, is she's more human. It's odd, but every set she's on, someone will say to me, she was a human in a previous life. Who was she? And I'm like, I don't know, but it's weird because every set she's on, someone comes up and says that to me.
She does have that quality. She has the quality of, it doesn't feel like, you're dealing with just your average dog either. She's kind of independent.
Yeah.
She's pretty amazing. I mean, I'm almost lost for words.
Yeah, she's not which is why she was at the shelter waiting for the right person to take her, because she's not a regular dog. She doesn't want to be in a house all day. She just wants to do this, I think. And, that's what makes it all work, is that she's very eager.
Yeah.
And every set she goes to, everyone is like, this dog is crazy. It's crazy. And I'm like, I know. I don't know how it works, but it does.
I remember the first time that I saw Tinkerbell on Instagram, actually, she had that signature Gucci collar.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Gucci.
Yeah.
They didn't send me anything, but...
we got to work on that one. I think it's a 2-for-1 deal, right?
Tinkerbell has a red and a hot pink Gucci collar. And they don't sell those for animals, but Tinkerbell did a shoot for them, and they made them for her.
Wow.
So lo and behold, off we go, and got these 2 amazing real Gucci collars. And I'm like, Tinkerbell, if someone stops us on a subway, hide the collar.
I know, it's scary, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But that's like one of her things, is that human diva upper style, thing. She loves accessories. She's got her little pearls on from Venice, Italy. And she was given these while we were in Venice. And she just, X says she has a nice long neck, so things look good on her.
That's right. So let's talk more fashion. New York Fashion Week.
Just ended.
Just ended here.
Wow. Yes, it's hard, especially balancing my work. This timing wise was really difficult because it was back to school, so back to dance classes for the kids all in the same week and New York Fashion Week. So it was hard, but it was amazing. In fact, Tinkerbelle was just featured in Bloomberg yesterday afternoon. They put a huge photo of Tinkerbelle sitting front row at one of her shows.
No way.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have known, but the Getty image photographer who took the photo, he posted it and tagged me, tagged Tinkerbelle, I should say, tagged Tinkerbelle. And I was like, wait, where is this? And he's like, and he wrote back, he's like, go on Bloomberg.com. It's Tinkerbell's giant picture. And it sure is. So it was very successful. She loves Fashion Week, loves taking pictures with celebrities, loves being backstage with models, loves walking or watching, whichever be the case. And
who did you meet? Was there anyone in particular?
She met a bunch of housewives again from all over, from New York, from not Jersey. They weren't there, but a lot of the housewives were there.
She's a fan, right?
Big fan. Tinkerbell's a big Bravo girl.
Oh, wow.
She aspires to be on her own housewife show one day.
You know what? I'm surprised that Andy should try and get you on his show.
Yeah, I would love that. She would love that. Yeah, I think, I think a lot of people don't know what to do or when to do it, or should we reach out? Shouldn't we reach out? But I'm always open to anything.
Yeah.
So I think she would love it. I think she and Andy could be BFFs.
For sure.
She and Dorinda are BFFs.
Oh, really? Dorinda is a New York housewife, right? She's the short hair, the lady with the blonde.
The blonde hair. And she did a Febreeze job with Bethany from New York Housewives.
Yep. Bethany has dogs too. We follow her.
Yes, she does. She has dogs. And when she did the Febreeze booking, she had Cookie.
Yep.
But now Cookie since passed.
Yeah.
And she has adopted 2 others. But the first thing she said was, my Cookie would never do this, what Tinkerbell's doing. And she loved Tinkerbell and was holding her every chance she could during that Febreeze job. But Tinkerbell just met Lizzo. She's a big Lizzo fan. And Lizzo was going to be on the Today Show. And we get a DM from Lizzo saying, can Tinkerbell be there so I could do some photos with her? And I said, sure. And I had to go to Philly that day with Tinkerbell. And I said, okay, it's really early in the morning. I can do it. I can fit it in. So here we go to the Today Show at 6 a.m. And right away, everybody at the Today Show was like, Tinkerbell, 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 Tinkerbell. And they gave us our VIP tags for the green room and backstage. And then they said, oh, just wait there. Lizzo's doing a sound check. Lizzo didn't know we were there yet.
Oh, I see.
So lo and behold, Lizzo comes. They start to air the first little segment of Lizzo. And I was still outside with Tinkerbell. And I have video of her on Tink's Instagram. Lizzo comes running out to go to the stage, sees Tinkerbell, stops dead in her tracks, grabs her, gives her a kiss, and then runs onto the stage.
Oh, that is so freaking cute.
And the crowd went wild.
Wow.
Wild. And yeah, so then after that, we went backstage and we were with Lizzo and taking photos. But so now Tinkerbell has been kissed by Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Lizzo, and those are her 3 music icons right now.
Tayler Swift, that whole thing just blew up, didn't it?
Totally, and amazing.
So for those that don't know, tell them the story about Taylor Swift.
Well, Tinkerbell was requested to be at the concert. Camila Cabello wanted to meet Tinkerbell, so we were there early backstage, and Taylor's team had spotted Tinkerbell in the house backstage, wandering around, et cetera, et cetera. And then we got to see the concert. So we go to watch the concert, and midstream, Taylor sees Tinkerbell while she's performing, grabs her out of my arms, hugging and kissing her on the jumbotrons everywhere. The audience was crazy. And it all happened so quickly that I had no time to react other than making sure Tinkerbell was safe.
Wow.
So I had nothing, no photos, no video. I leave the arena and Tinkerbell's Twitter is blowing up, and the Instagram, all of the people in the stadium took photo and video footage of Tinkerbell and Taylor, and that's how I have what I have now.
Holy shit.
Yes,
Okay.
because you just need a couple of people to right away know who she is, and it spread like wildfire. Everyone's like, Tinkerbelle the Dog? That's the famous Tinkerbelle. And it was like crazy. So all I do all the time is say thank you to those at the concert for all of the photos and video footage, because I wouldn't have anything.
How did that affect your Instagram? I mean, when these types of events happen, like Bloomberg or this Taylor Swift thing, do your followers just shoot through the roof?
Yes. A new audience comes and starts following Tinkerbell. She increases largely, and I just try to keep up on all of the DMs and just try to save everything I can save of the photos and videos that have come through. But she gains massive amounts of followers. And Fashion Week is another big thing for her, because she loves fashion, obviously, loves style, loves fashion, loves clothing. And all of the people there who don't know her begin to follow her. Because once they see her sitting and posing or walking on the runway, or they want to know who she is. Who is that dog? Who is that dog? If they don't already know her. And it becomes, so all of the hard work pays off because her followers do increase.
Yeah.
And there's so many people who continue to tag Tinkerbell just in random photos and posts that it's amazing.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
I know that when you started, you were doing a lot of this on your own, and we were talking, and you mentioned that you have a team.
Yes, I do. Team Tink.
Team Tink. Can you talk about Team Tink a little bit and how they help you out?
Yes. Team Tink are lifesavers for me, because if I can't post, they'll post. So I have excluding her groomer and her agents and her lawyers, I have 4 people who help me a lot. One more than the other. My friend Gina helps me doing all her photos. So I'll take the photos and I'll give them all to Gina and just be like, here's the photos. Can you post daily? And she'll post daily, or if I need something edited and I don't have time, she can edit. Also, when I go to events or TV spot interviews or anything like that, someone will come with me. So whether it'll be my sister or my friend Tyson or my friend Tui, someone will always be there to do some BTS behind the scenes, because otherwise I wouldn't have anything.
Yeah.
And I'm very organized and business oriented, like you said. So I like to have some documentation from everything, because you don't know if what I need down the road. If someone's going to say, do you have anything other than the actual TV segment that aired? So I like to have things, and I'm lucky enough to have Team Tink, where there's always someone coming with me to an event or something. And next Saturday, Tinkerbell is the captain ambassador for the Animal League Walk and Wag.
Oh.
Yes. So I will have actually probably 2 people, because they all want to go to that. It's an outdoor event. It's fun. And I think I'll have 2 of Team Tink along for the ride. So someone can do photos, someone can do stories on Instagram for me. Yeah. So it's huge, because you can't do it alone. When you get to a certain level, you have to realize you can't do it alone. You need a team.
So is Team Tink, are they volunteers? Are they like paid, or how does that work?
They're just relatives or good friends, and they just love helping. Some of them get to travel with me, because I'm always allowed to bring a person on all these traveling adventures.
Yeah.
So get to travel. And so I have my one friend Tui's in California, my one friend Tyson's in Florida. So I have people kind of spread out all over. So when I need someone near Florida or someone in a California area that I need extra hand, they're always there to help.
How much of your work is actually in California versus New York?
I've been to California the past year like 4 or 5 times. She just shot something at the Sony picture lot which I can't discuss, but it was absolutely amazing.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I'm very excited for that. Just being there, and it was about her, was just so like surreal, maybe. But I go back and forth, so I call her bicoastal.
Is New York a good place for her, like for the business?
Absolutely. New York is really good for her. There's a lot happening here. I think maybe even more so social media-wise than LA, because LA is so spread out. Here in the city, there's so many events that they want her at. There's so many different things that they need her to do here. So it might be better in some parts than LA, but it's, she's bicoastal. So we go back and forth. Mm-hmm. But both are amazing places for her.
That is. And we were talking about your trips to Europe too.
Yes. With her international travel blog, Traveling Tink. It's multi-award winning. Tinkerbell's been to Italy twice. She's been to Paris, France. She's been to the Dominican Republic. She's been to London, England. And we'll be returning back to different locations in Italy upcoming next couple of months. But it's amazing. She loves traveling. I love traveling. These hotels want to partner with her. I'm game as long as I can fit it in.
Wow. And how does it work as far as traveling outside of the country with Tinkerbell? Is there a specific protocol for each country? Is there a passport? How does that work?
Tinkerbell does have a European passport, but because she's a U.S. citizen, she also, every time she goes out of the country, does need to get her records approved by the USDA here in USA. And then we're permitted to travel because each country does require a little different things, vaccine-wise or record-wise. So you just have to go to USDA and make sure that you have everything filled out properly that they need, and then there's no problem entering.
Now, is the office in New York City?
It's by JFK Airport, and there's also one in Albany.
Person.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's easy. It's another thing that's a little time-consuming, but you make it work and you fit it in.
So it's not as complicated because we travel a lot and we spend a lot of time in Europe, and we just got back and we were missing our dog Pierre like crazy. And we weren't exactly sure where we were going to be. And I heard stories, like horror stories about like London, they quarantined the dogs. And we were just a little bit worried, and we didn't bring them because of that. But for sure in the future, we want to bring them. So how hard is the process? Is it an application you fill out, or how does it work?
London is a little more difficult, but if you're organized and good business person, you won't have a problem. There was a lot of communication with me back and forth with them. And I told, they knew she was coming there to work, et cetera, et cetera. And as long as you do what they need you to do and have the communication open, there was no problem. As soon as we landed, they met me and they took all the paperwork from me in London, and they said, have a good shoot, Tinkerbell, have fun and have a good time. But it's extra communication going to London, but it's not a problem if you're organized and willing to do it.
What about the different airlines? Are you flying a very specific airline?
We have been on most of the airlines for international Delta partners they've put me on. And Tinkerbell's flown Delta also within the U.S., so I don't have a problem with them at all.
Wow.
Yeah, and the other thing about Tinkerbell is once we get on the plane, it becomes the Tinkerbell party, because there again, it's a small confined area. Once one person recognizes her, it's passing her around the plane to do selfies.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so the rules for Tink on a flight of stay in your bag kind of bend as soon as everyone realizes who she is.
It's magical. This is a dream, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's what I say every night. I'm like, Tink, is this real? Is this really happening? It's a total dream. It's something that I never imagined.
Yeah.
Who would have thought adopting a first dog ever would turn into this adventure?
This doesn't happen every day.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. And I guess it's, like you said, it's part of me being very disciplined and I guess the animal has to match that discipline.
That's right. Do you there's, you hear this all the time that, they're the owner and their dogs, they end up either looking alike or acting alike. Do you see any of Tink in you and then vice versa?
I have heard that sometimes we do have
you're blushing.
similarities.
You're blushing, by the way.
Some people tell us there are similarities. And every time someone says, oh my gosh, you look similar, I'm like, how can I look similar to a dog? But I hear that that's so. And I guess that's why she also has no formal training, because I'm very structured myself. And I think just me communicating with her the same way I am is why she is the way she is. So I guess she's very disciplined too, and that must come from me, I guess.
You speak her language for sure.
I do.
One thing that stood out to me is that I had mentioned some other pet influencers, and you weren't really familiar. Explain to me why. A lot of people in the industry, they kind of know of each other, but that's not something that you do.
No, I think because Tinkerbelle is more with the human industry. She doesn't partake in all the animal get-together parties, and she doesn't have a pack. Like, she's not a Yorkie, she's not a Frenchie, so there's not 5,000 of her on the internet that can get together for a meet and greet. She works more with the humans than with animals. We do, because she is a shelter pet, which is why we do support shelter pets, and that's why she works for the Animal League a lot. But other than that, it's mostly things she does with people. And her products, I would say 60% of her social media campaigns are human products. And the commercials and things she does are more human things, like department stores and clothing brands. They might have animal things, but she's not really around dog influencers. She has worked with Doug, the pug, a couple times. So we do have a relationship with Leslie, Doug's owner. I have a relationship. But other than that, I think she is in a different category because she's not like a pug. So there aren't 500 pugs following her.
That's right.
She's a Pepatisse. There's no Pepatisse. I can't find any.
Yeah. You mentioned something about, social media. Let's delve into that. That's like one of my favorite parts. Let's talk about, marketing, perhaps monetization, like the industry, the economy of the influencer economy. As far as Instagram is concerned, are you focused primarily there? There's TikTok that is on the horizon that's coming up. You mentioned something about Twitter earlier. Where is your primary focus?
Tinkerbelle is verified on all platforms. She does have everything, including TikTok, where it used to be called Musical.ly. She was crowned on Musical.ly.
That's right.
Then when they turned it over to TikTok, it became another blue check. And I personally like the crown better that sat next to Tinkerbell's face than the check, but we'll take it. Her largest audience is on Instagram, but she does have all of the social media aspects. So that's why combined, her followers are so high, over 600,000, because of all of the other verified platforms where she has thousands of followers.
How do you keep up with all of the different platforms? Are you using software? Is everything done manually?
Everything's done manually. It's just hard work.
And do you change the type of content for each platform?
I post daily for Tinkerbelle, but that post will go on her Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And her TikTok is the only thing that's usually different because that's videos. So TikTok isn't on a daily basis, but I do post videos on there as much as I can. But that's the only thing that's really different. She also has Tumblr, which will be posted the same post that's on Twitter and Facebook, etc. And there are different audiences on every platform. because the older generation has Facebook.
Yeah.
The younger generation has Instagram, but then the youngest generation only goes to YouTube. And right away, when a kid talks to Tinkerbell, they're like, I follow you on YouTube. I see your YouTube videos. So
Wow.
I try to make her TikTok, which is more like people in their late teens, 20s, and YouTube kind of match, because the little kids on YouTube like what goes on TikTok, but they're not old enough to have accounts of social media. But their parents let them on YouTube all the time. So she's got the little kids on the YouTube, and she's got every other age on moving up to each other app.
Wow. Do you guys analyze analytics on Instagram to kind of see what works and what doesn't?
I'm not really into the analyzing. I'm just trying to keep up with it and make everyone happy. And I do look at her followers increasing daily, which really says to me I'm doing the right thing. But on the analytics, I do notice the worldwide followers.
It's increasing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Have you ever posted a piece of content and you thought, wow, what feedback we got from this? Has there ever been anything that has just surprised you?
Yes. Well, first of all, I think all of the videos with like Taylor, Ariana, and Lizzo are just like off the charts.
Yeah.
Responsive, like crazy responsive. But once in a while, there's a random photo that'll be posted and I'm like, it's okay. But then the audience loves it. And I'm like, what is it about this photo that the audience is loving? Because to me, it wasn't one of my best photos that I've taken of her. I was just like, it's okay. But, I guess people just look for more ordinary sometimes and it just works. But what really also takes off is when she's with her food. So Tinkerbell is a foodie.
Wow.
And she, for instance, when we were just in Captiva Island 2 weekends ago, I posted her with a frozen drink and people went crazy with a frozen drink at the pool. And I just did a post of her at Black Tap with the Friends milkshake, Friends, the TV show milkshake. Crazy. People are crazy for it. They love her with food and drinks. And I think that her audience loves her human qualities as well.
Yeah, we were talking and I think it would be kind of cool to talk about life at home for Tinkerbell, right? What does she like to do? Is there a specific type of food? Does she have a corner in the house that she likes to hang out at?
Well, Tinkerbell is the queen of the apartment. She's in charge of everything, but she loves to sit and watch Bravo. She loves TV, loves reality TV. She will keep it on all day. She'd rather be out than home.
Yep.
If I leave her home, she gets very upset because she wants to come with me and she thinks she's missing something.
Yep.
But she sits on the couch like a human would do. She walks around. She has her little bathroom potty area that she, like we have our bathrooms.
Yep.
She has hers where hers is. And it's just very chill, very human.
Amazing. Are you documenting any of that, just the human side at all?
As far as her daily living adventures, I do post stories of her watching TV or...
Does that kind of get a lot of reaction to just the normal stuff?
Oh, they love the stories. Yeah, where she's laying naked on the couch watching TV. Yes, people love that. People love that. They're like, Tink.
So how do you plan out your content? Do you have like a calendar or are you kind of a little bit spontaneous?
I am spontaneous. Right now, I've already shot her epic Halloween video. I try to keep ahead of things and I try to fit it in when I can. So I shot her epic Halloween video that is being edited right now. I shot her amazing pumpkin spice content.
Cute.
Video and photos. I posted those photos actually yesterday, hot off the press, because I was like, I can't wait on this. I have to get this, because her audience loves her Halloween pumpkin spice stuff. So I posted that right away, but I also have video footage of that. And I already have planned her trick-or-treating video for TikTok and everything, and the day of what she's going to wear and what she's going to do. I've got that in my head already. So I try to keep ahead of the holidays as much as I can.
And are you doing all the editing?
I do a lot of the editing, and I have a friend who does the editing also.
Wow. Are you doing it on a desktop or on your phone, or?
I do everything on my laptop.
Wow.
My laptop is my life. So if I lose that or my phone, I'm in big trouble.
Are you an Apple person too?
Yes, I am.
So you use iMovie? Are you using iMovie? Okay.
Huge Apple person.
Yeah. The whole ecosystem. We were talking about I left my computer on the freaking plane.
That's terrible.
I've got my life on that computer. You know, I was checking out your website, and I absolutely love the colors, the logo. How key has the website been to helping you get in front of brands and grow?
Oh, the website is huge. I feel like besides Tinkerbelle having a Wikipedia, which is the first thing when you Google her name that comes up, which is amazing and huge in itself. Mm-hmm. The second most important is her IMDb and her website.
Okay.
And that's where the public relations companies and the brands all go to look at those three things. Her website, I tried to make sure is very on brand for her, very color scheme for her. The two little caricature logos were designed by the girl who draws for Casetify, the cell phone cases. Mm-hmm. So those two little logos, the traveling logo and her little logo of her sitting at the top of the screen there, those are professionally made for her. And it's really important. I feel like everybody goes to a website, and I think it's really important to show the website at its best.
Yeah. And I think you've done that.
Thank you.
The color palette, everything looks.
Thank you.
It's totally on point.
It's totally
with Tinkerbelle.
Her. Yeah, totally diva.
You got it. You got it right.
Tink. Bougie Tink.
Little bougie little one.
Yeah.
So you said you mentioned that it's over 600,000 followers now?
Combined, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Who would have thought that someone telling me, here's her sign in, here's her, password, keep up on it. Amazing. The growth, yeah. From like 2 years old till now at 7.
What advice would you give an aspiring, dog influencer on how to grow? And maybe they're stuck, or maybe they're just getting started. How do they get started? Let's start with that.
Well, obviously, you get started. Figure out what platform to start on and just post. But the whole thing is everybody is very eager in the beginning and posting daily, but you'll see the animal people dwindle off. They get tired because it's honestly a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And you really have to keep up on it. You have to be dedicated. You have to have a lot of discipline and structure to keep up with it because it's a ton of work. You have to post every day. You can't miss a day. And you have to try to have stories as much as you can. You have to make sure you have hashtags in each post. You have to think of different content. You have to make everything look different. So if you notice, if you follow other animals, they stop posting because it's a lot of work. So if you're going into it, just be ready to work hard. And I guess if you do work hard, this is what happens in the end.
So you guys, if you're going to start, get ready. Otherwise, don't even jump in.
Yeah,
right?
No. Don't jump in unless you're really dedicated and really disciplined, because you have to really, really keep up on it.
Wow. What about the people kind of upstream a bit that maybe they're kind of a micro influencer. They're stuck at 10, 12, 13,000 followers. What advice, and I know this would be different for everyone, but how can they get to the next level from there?
If they've been stuck for a while, they need to change up what they're doing, posting-wise, photo-wise, I would think, because it's obviously not branching out. So whatever their content is, they need to try to change it. Because if you're stuck, there's a reason you're stuck and not growing. So maybe if you're posting just clothing, maybe add something to the mix and add that hashtag. You have to change hashtags as much as possible. You have to try to keep the content fresh and current.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's also part of it. Like, no one wants to just see the dog sitting there. Keep it current and keep changing it up. So if you're stuck, just try switching something up. Change the location, change your background, change something, and just keep trying.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Yeah, because you never know what's going to work, right?
You don't know.
Try a bunch of different...
You keep trying, and some days I'm like, wow, that picture's amazing, and it only got 200 comments. Why? Only, and then I'm like, what? That picture's not as good, and it got 500 comments. I'm like, what? So you don't know.
It's timing, right?
It's timing.
Do you wait like at a certain time to post?
I try to post in the morning, but everybody's in different time zones, so they see it at different times. For example, the funny thing is, because I do try to answer all her comments, the funny thing is I'll have a post from yesterday, and someone will write on it, have a great night, and it'll be like this morning, and someone will write, have a great weekend, and I'm like, but it's already Monday. So it's just funny, but you reply to them like it's their time zone, and that's it. But that's always the fun thing about Instagram and all the other platforms, is that people are on different time zones and different days. And
her reach is international, so you never know who you're getting in front of at what time.
Exactly.
I think New York is great that way, because you're in New York, we're 5 or 6 hours behind Europe for the most part. If you're in Cali, it's 9. So it's like completely different. Yeah, exactly. New York is kind of more central for timing wise to post. So it works out well for her. Yeah. Monetization wise, she only does paid sponsorships now, right? Yes. All of her posts that you see on social media are only paid. Yes. Wow. Are there big dollars in this? Is it something like... Tink does very well. Yeah. She's got a team. She's got a good life. Tink does very well. She has a little bank account. That's so cool. And people that are kind of starting and they're probably on the micro level, I guess, are they in a spot at that point to do paid posts, or is it mainly going to be kind of merch for a post? Like, how did you kind of navigate that early on? Well, in the beginning, being clueless, people would send me merch and they'd say, oh, we'll send you this. Can you post this? And I'd say, sure, thinking it was just like, wow, Tink, you're getting presents. But then, the more jobs she got and the more I said, why am I posting for free? She's getting paid to shoot products in commercials and print ads. Why am I paying to do this? So after I realized, I don't know how many thousands of followers she was at by then, but I started telling people, you can send her the gift, but there is no guaranteed post. If she's wearing it, I'll tag you, but I'm not going to do an unpaid post. Yeah. And a lot of the companies get it. They just try to take advantage of you, I think. But a lot of the companies will come back to me and say, we understand. Thank you. Yes, we'll send it to you anyway. And if we see it on our, it's great. If not, we understand. So these are probably like companies in the beginning that I said, sure, send it over, and posted for them and took the time to do a shot and do this, and that understand. Yep. Which right away said to me, these people just have been taking advantage of me for this beginning stages, and I have to say no now. And Tinkerbelle still gets amazing gifts in the mail. It has not affected anything at all. And yeah, so I just think no matter how many followers you have, just know that these companies reaching out to you know that you should be getting paid for your post. Yeah, and they have the resources too. Yeah, and they'll always write in their emails, we're a small startup business. You're like, that's bullshit. Exactly. That's code word for, hey, you just got some financing, didn't you? Yeah, you have a business, but yours, no money. Okay, no thank you. Wow. Yeah, because they will take advantage of everyone. Yeah, yeah. You had mentioned, going back real quick to the charity work and stuff that you do, You were here recently for Susan G. Komen.
Yes.
And there was a cancer walk here in New York City, right?
Yes, Tinkerbelle is the official pup ambassador for the Susan G. Komen Greater NYC Race for a Cure. And she's been with them for the past 2 races. We just had the second race last weekend. And it's just an amazing organization. And it's only positive can come from it. Tinkerbelle wears her pink proudly and gets out there and, greets all the fans as they're walking past or running past. And it just makes everyone happy. And it's a really important cause.
Yeah.
There's too many women and men now who have breast cancer. And I feel like there is a cure out there. It's somewhere. Maybe people know about it and maybe we just don't know about it here in the States. But we've got to try the best we can. So Tinkerbelle helps also children with cancer. She does go visit children with cancer to make their days a little happier. And so between Susan Komen and the Children's Cancer and the Animal League, those are Tink's main charities.
Wow. Amazing.
Little dog, big heart.
So, what's next for you and Tinkerbelle? Where do you go from here?
Tinkerbelle has some upcoming opportunities. We're working on a partnership right now with, hopefully it'll come through today. I don't want to jinx it, but it's a human brand as well. That'll be a good one for her. She's got a meeting later today with something else really large, and hopefully that'll come through. And the thing she shot at Sony Pictures should be coming out probably in the next 4 weeks. And we just keep going. We already have the traveling booked for February to go to Milan and Florence and then back to Milan. And for the first time ever, she will be at Milan Fashion Week. I just got an email this morning that a huge company wants her to walk at their Paris Fashion Week in January. So we'll see, what happens with that. But, it's amazing the outreach that she has and the emails I get. And it's just amazing. She's a staple here at New York Fashion Week. So it just makes sense, I guess, that now she's branching out internationally for Fashion Week as well.
Wow. Tinkerbelle taking over the world, huh?
Totally unfazed by it. Taking over the world one little paw at a time.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
For people that don't have maybe never heard about you, what is the best way for people to get in touch with you? Your website URL, your social media handles? Well,
on everything, all of her social media and her website, there's an email address. So it's best to email because the DMs and the little inboxes on social media, she gets flooded that I miss 99% of them. So email is the best way to make sure that we get it. And that link is on her website. That link is on her Instagram or on her Facebook. Everything has a direct link to email. But for some reason, people like to send in-person PMs and DMs. And it's just, when you have this many followers, it's hard to see them all. So email is best.
Okay. And what is her URL again for her website?
www.tinkerbelle, with an E at the end of bell, thedog.com.
It was such a joy to have you two on. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
You got it. Hey guys, we really hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks so much for listening to the show this week. You can subscribe wherever you're listening, and we love feedback. So feel free to also leave us a review. You can also visit us on Instagram at Book with Pierre. Until next time, I'm Anthony Flores, and you're listening to The Shift, a pet service podcast.